Hey everyone, welcome back to my weekly manga review for Bleach. This week it's episode 679, and as usual, I haven't read any spoilers or seen any pictures, and so let's get into it. It's entitled The End. Alright, so last week we saw that Ichigo got his Bankai destroyed by Yhwach, and it was pretty controversial. A lot of people were crying troll. We'll see what happens. Alright, so the Almighty is not the power to see the future, it is the power to change it. Okay? Do not be alarmed, it is no different than the powers that you both possess. And Inoue she looks strung out, shocked. Just as you are unable to influence no more than one instant that exists before your eyes. Ichigo's on the ground, he's scarred up, the look in his eyes is it's just like defeat, shock. All I can do is influence and change the entirety of fate that I see in mine. Ichigo, up until now, countless times before, you've overcome despair and changed your fate, isn't that so? Do you know why it is you've been able to do so? The answer is simple. It is because I was not there. Alright, I guess so. I don't know. Your final hope is shattered. Now, Ichigo, go on and try to change the future. Because it is I that can see just how spectacular of a future it will be. Change it, and I shall chop down any fate you try to carve out for yourself. Go on, you can despair now. And it looks like he's really despairing. So, it would be crazy if Bleach ended like with the defeat of Ichigo and the protagonists. That would be a twist. That would be a huge troll. I don't know. Kubo's kind of got a rep for being a troll too, so we'll see here. Oh wow, we're going back to Uryu. Okay, alright. I'm into it. So Uryu is getting messed up right now. My shrift is B. The balance. Okay, so Haschwalth has a shield? He has like a Quincy Cross shield that I haven't seen before, that none of us have seen before. Alright, he's going to explain his powers, finally. Alright. By taking the misfortune that occurs within my sphere of influence and dispersing it to those that have fortuitous luck and had led charmed lives, I maintain balance in this world. It's kind of strange. Alright, I'm not sure if I understand it fully, but it seems but I'm guessing that means yeah, it means what it says. He takes people that have had good luck and he gives them bad luck, and the other way around, I guess. Let's keep reading. Yeah, there we go. He explains it on the next page. I can take all the misfortune that would happen to my own self and redirect it into this ruined shield. So the translation is substitute shield. Your chances of winning are nil, Ishida Uryu. And it seems I'm no longer able to get any answers out of you. If you wish to remain mute, then that's fine by me. This will be your end. That's strange that he didn't break that shield out against Basby, but I guess he was just so much more powerful than Basby that he didn't even need it. So anything bad that would happen to him is redirected into his shield. Alright, so I guess that means like any like damaging attacks, like the energy gets absorbed into his shield, or is it something else? It doesn't. I don't see it. It doesn't really make sense.
Like, can he use this power at the casino and just kill it at blackjack?
Don't you wish to see my shrift? Oh my god. Ooh, let's see, Uryu. How pathetic. A sad, desperate attempt to buy yourselves a precious few seconds. If it would have assured you of victory, you would have surely used it by now. You've got it backwards. In fact, I was just thinking, it's just about time. We were all wondering, Uryu, like, if you had a Yhwach, or maybe Yhwach. I thought that Yhwach just kind of trolled him. and said he gave him a shrift, but didn't really give him like a significant power. I kind of thought that's what it was, but maybe he does. This is pretty exciting. Such nonsense. My shrift. All right, so Haschwalth thinks he's full of shit, and Uryu is about to reveal something big. All right, don't let me down, Kubo. Don't troll me again. A antithesis. Oh my god. Whoo. Oh shit. Oh. Wow, dude. Uryu is no joke. He actually did have some power. All right. Antithesis. There was a lot of speculation on Uryu's shrift. People thought it was A for the archer. I mean, but that wouldn't really. I always thought that was kind of, I mean, all Quincy's are technically archers, aren't they? So how would that be? A shrift? Would it make you just like a really good archer? But this is much better. This is the antithesis, and man, this a full panel shot of Haschwalth. Just I don't know what's happening to him, but he is getting suddenly in an instant he gets like massive injuries all over his body, and it's great. Man, he was so arrogant, and I just this is such a payoff for me. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but Haschwalth always kind of walked around like he had an S on his chest, and I love this. I love the fact that he's actually finally now got a scratch on him. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. This is a great chapter so far. What is this? Oh, and Uryu's fully healed. All right, so antithesis. Among two designated targets, I can completely reverse anything that has already happened. Oh my god, that is OP as fuck too. So Uryu is waiting to get hurt as much as possible, as much as he could take before he used his shrift. I mean, that power is overpowered, but wow. All right, let's keep going. Take our instances, for example. I was able to reverse the damage between you and I. I see such a marvelous power. It might even be possible to turn that power against His Majesty. With such an ability in your possession to reverse anything that's happened, you might very well be the only person capable of opposing His Majesty's power. Let's read what he says. Among two designated targets, I can completely reverse anything that has already happened. For instance, he can reverse the damage between him and his target. But if you read deeper into it, he doesn't say that that's the limit of his ability. What else can he reverse? This is potentially a game changer in this arc, in this story arc. This might bump Uryu up to the #1 spot, the #1 most powerful protagonist. I mean, even above Ichigo. Like, if he can reverse anything that's already happened between himself and another target, what if he were to use this power on Yhwach? So Yhwach can change the future. He can control the future. And Uryu is he's the antithesis. He has the power to change the things that have already happened. So, in a way, if I don't know the limits of what he can do with this power, but if it's anything like it sounds, he's the perfect counter to Yhwach. It's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. He's the antithesis of Yhwach, and wow, it's just I think it's brilliant. I think it's an awesome twist. So like I said, it's potentially a game changer,
I mean, even Haschwalth sees it, that this power is a threat to His Majesty. And yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Is what you just said, does it have something to do with the true nature of the Almighty? Take from it what you will. I'm simply saying that I was right in stopping you here and now. I don't know why Uryu is worried about that. I guess he doesn't know that the Almighty is the power to control the future. And Haschwald is saying, you actually think I'd let you go? And hits him in the back. Your antithesis is indeed splendid, but it is a poor matchup for my balance. I told you, didn't I? I can disperse any misfortune, and any and all misfortune that befalls me is redirected into my Freund shield. Which means that the good luck you had in inflicting wounds upon me were wreaked back upon you in equal magnitude as misfortune. So what's gonna happen here? They're just gonna go back and forth, you know, like Uryu can reverse the shit, Haschwalth can reverse the shit. Let's see. And then a misfortune that happens to fall upon my own body merely gets deflected and absorbed into my Freund shield. So it gets scratches, like the shield gets scratches as it absorbs misfortune, I suppose, or wounds get transferred onto the shield and rains even more misfortune onto you. Okay. So Uryu's getting more damage. He's shocked. How many times must I repeat myself? You have no chance of winning, Ishida, Uryu. Uryu, what about your shrift? Can you only do it once? What's going on here? You don't know when to quit. Rodents could learn a thing or two about tenacity from you. Even though I'm sure you finally come to the conclusion that you're no match for either His Majesty, for myself, or His Majesty. Alright, Uryu's still crawling. Haschwald's got his sword. And when I told you I was unable to see your true colors, I take that back. Those foolish humans who cling so desperately to their faith and what they believe in, you're cut from the exact same cloth. Alright, so Haschwald swipes down. Okay, looks like we're going back to Ichigo. He's getting tossed around some more. Yhwach is just continuing to kick his ass. No more fight left in you, Ichigo. I expected so much more. My sword has no effect, neither does it Inoue's shield. It's over. He looks defeated, obviously. This is what I got all worked up for. What a waste. Rather, I suppose you did provide me some entertainment. Now then, for your final duty. It's time for that power that I so generously granted you to return to its rightful owner. It looks like a blue vein is coming out of Ichigo's face, and it all comes to an end. And that's it. Alright. So my thoughts on the chapter, I thought it was excellent. Not much progression with the Yhwach and Ichigo fight. We see that he's still in the same position, and Yhwach is about to absorb his power. So I don't know if that means he's going to absorb his Quincy powers or all his powers. We'll have to find out. But I think the exciting part of the chapter was really the Uryu part, and the revelation of his shrift, and also the explanation of Haschwald's balance powers. Uryu's A shrift, it just seems so it seems really really powerful, and you know, it's kind of weird because it seems like both Haschwald and Uryu, I mean, their powers, their shrifts are different, but the effect is still the same. They can both reflect or absorb the damage that they take and transfer it back on to their opponent. So I was excited to see that he had like a cool shrift power. Like right now he's wounded and on the ground, and it looks like Haschwald's about to deliver the killing blow, but obviously Ishida looks like he's done with Haschwald and he wants to move on to go into Yhwach. It's also kind of, I don't know, fitting that Yhwach would give Uryu a shrift called the antithesis, because you know, maybe he did, you know, obviously I'm sure that Yhwach is not a fool and he suspected that Uryu might betray him. So I mean, that You know, look, and he gave him this shrift called the antithesis. So I'm having a problem saying antithesis, but he gave him that shrift, and it's kind of fitting. You know, maybe he even back then, before he had his power to see the future, that he suspected Uryu of treachery. But honestly, I love his new shrift. I love Uryu's new power. I'm like hype about it. I don't know. But right now he's wounded, and you know, like if he reflects his injuries back onto Haschwalth, Haschwalth apparently can absorb that misfortune into his shield, and then redirect it back at Uryu, who can redirect it back at him. And so it seems like they could go in a circle forever. One panel I did notice though was that Haschwalth's shield was starting to get some scratches or crack. So maybe, you know, maybe like if he keeps doing that, eventually the shield breaks. And I don't know. It's a lot of speculation for next chapter, but yeah, we get the revelation of Haschwalth's power and Uryu's power, and they're both, you know, kind of similar. They both have kind of similar effects, even though they have different ways of getting there. Uryu has a really cool power, a really cool shrift, in my opinion. It's kind of similar to some things we've seen before from like other characters. Like elements of it are similar to Kyoraku's Bankai, similar to the Miracle, kind of similar in a sense that they use the damage taken to manifest some other power. You know, Kyoraku can take the damage he receives and duplicate it on his enemy. The Miracle can take the damage he receives and convert it into raw power. And it seems like Uryu can take the damage he receives and just flat out remove it from himself and give it back to his attacker. And Haschwalth, he takes the damage and he absorbs it into his shield. So they're all kind of similar concepts. I guess that's about it for this chapter, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.